My research is what you might describe as a global hypermedia ethnography. It's looking at the broad question of engagement of youth, and by engagement I mean artistic, academic and social engagement in sites in Toronto, in Boston, in Lucknow in India, and in Taipei in Taiwan. So we're working across these sites and trying to find ways to communicate and share digitally the theatre produced by young people in these various contexts. One of the ways that we really use the CFI infrastructure is also in the local contexts. We want there to be some sort of hypertextual engagement, and we want the processes of our research to be highly collaborative. So for instance, in one of our sites, in a theatre making process in which youth might be using verbatim theatre to tell us something about their experiences of schooling, we also would document that through the use of a blog in the classroom. And that blog becomes an interesting research artifact, but it also provides a means for dialogue among peers, with us as researchers, with a teacher, so that we have a really flexible record of the process of creating theatre, and also layers of communication across that, so that we can tap into different kinds of knowledge that speaks to our question of engagement through theatre. In my current project, a verbatim theatre playwright is now working with our data, culled from the blog experience, from the visual data that we have from the research sites, from the interviews, from the theatre making practices, the rehearsals, the productions, the digitized versions of their plays, and looking at those to actually create a piece of theatre live, multimedia, using that data for us to communicate information about our research to a broader public in the form of a live piece of theatre. Because the research is situated in such geographic and linguistic and culturally diverse spaces, we have to find a way, if we want to make good on the promise of collaborative analysis, to work across those divides. And so we've been seeking out different kinds of software that really move beyond the sort of traditional qualitative software available to us, and to also enhance that, use development tools that CFI affords with teams of technology experts in order, for instance, to find software that can simultaneously translate to and from Hindi, English, and Mandarin, the predominant languages of our studies. So everything is not funneled through a Western English lens, but is rather trying to take these sites in their own terms, so that the translation of culture and language is not rendered two-dimensional in the flatness of the screen, but allows us to do quite a sophisticated kind of coding of that language and embodied communication that's happening in really culturally specific places.